Alright, why do we start with files? G'day Lance, thought I would try and put some of this together. Still a bit sick, but we'll do our best. First thing I've got, what do we got here? Files. This is a third or preferred double bevel. I don't know if the camera will pick that one up. It's pretty similar to what you're using. Very common, pretty easy to use. This is a Volorb version. There's only a single bevel, so it only has a 145 degree angle coming down the side. Makes it slightly thinner than the double bevel version. Can be beneficial on small chains, but pretty uncommon. There is a few around, not a lot. These ones are described by, this is another third version. This one is described as a 3 square. They're a small hexagonal shape. I don't think the camera is going to pick it up very well, but we'll try. These things are very tricky to use. There's a Volorb version of this as well. The advantage this one has is overall it is smaller, so it will fit in a lot more chains when it's new. This one, they list the overall diameter as 4.6 mil, and while it is smaller, it is thicker across the flat section here that forms the side plate. So I find them a bit easier to use, and that's what I prefer using now. But what we'll try and do is I will just use this Volorb one, and we'll try on this Carlton 3/8 that's been round filed, and we'll create something like what Volorb is listing in their video, where they are aiming low and keeping about a 25-ish degree angle on the top plate. Top plate filing angle, whatever you want to call it. Little guide comes in handy. I stick it on the back. Try and get my 25 degrees if I can. I've also never sharpened in this position that I have it at the minute. Just the only way I can get the camera to work. Chain is in a saw, just got it in a 310, 18-inch bar. Got it up on a bit of an angle. I've very poorly marked a 45 degree line down here with one of these. I do it generally whenever I'm using a square file, as it gives a good reference. If you grab the regular double bevel, so everything when you're doing square is 45 degrees. So this line can assist you, giving you a bit of a reference point when you're coming 45 degrees up. If you look at the file from the side, you can line it up. So if you can't see, if when you're looking at it you can't see the flat sections, then you know you're holding that at 45, and it should be forming that 85 degree or so side plate. It's going to look really funny on this camera because the camera is in a different position to what I am, so we're referencing differently. So for me, that's 45 up, but on the camera it looks miles out. It is just a guide. It isn't perfect, but it gives you a rough idea. Can be helpful. Different people like different handles. These are just a wooden Volorb one I like. Fits my hands better. Each their own. Doesn't really make much difference. And let's see. I'll have to take photos of this so you can try. Hopefully I can give you like progress shots as it goes through, but we'll see how we go. Let's see if we can make this one. The whole aim is we're going to try and miss low. Worst case scenario, we end up with actual proper square, then so be it. But yeah, we're going to be trying with a little more tilt than the 45 degrees when we're talking the file flat against it, because that's going to form more angle across the top of the top plate. So if we went in everything 45 degrees, we're going to end up with that sort of 12 to 15 degree mark on the top. By leaning it back towards me a bit more, increasing that angle, I'm going to put more top plate, more angle across the top here. which is what we're trying to do. This is just a quicker way of converting a round, which this is, a round file chain, to square. It's not a proper square, but it cuts, if anything, it cuts slightly faster. It's not as well supported in the corner, but it's a good way to start out. So let's see what I can do here. Okay, this one's going to be a bit of a challenge because we're starting. So the hardest part's actually hollowing out this lower section, because this has been round filed and round filed relatively high. There's quite a lot of material down here in the base that's got to come out to make this happen. I can see as I'm coming over the top, I know a lot of people like going outside in, I can see that upper corner up into the cutting edge, into the corner of the teeth. I prefer doing it this way, each to their own. Maybe one or two more there and we'll have that. Alright, there it is. You can feel it grabbing as it's breaking out of that. That's good enough. It hasn't formed the proper square shape the entirety of the way down, but it's got the bit that matters. Got 25 over the top. Side plate's nice and vertical, got a good corner, that's it. So that one's done. I need more chain tension on this. I prefer doing it on the saw, like I am now, just because I like to get as much tension on it as possible to stop it walking around. A lot more than you'd normally run with the chain when you're running the saw. And it can become a bit difficult to spin around. I use a scrunch, pretty handy tool. So all we're going to do, line up this next one on that line, grab our file back, give yourself a rough reference. If you're starting with a chain that's already at 25 degrees on the top, to get that angle of the file, which way it leans, just lean it back until it's matching the current top plate that's there. It'll be fine. It will keep some degree of a decent shape to it. This one's converting a lot easier. Ooh, maybe one or two more there. Yep, done. Throw the file in behind it. Once you get the hang of it, the first few of these I did was an absolute nightmare. Yep. Remember, on this first one, we're not going for that perfect square shape. We're just trying to form, make sure we've got that top plate, the underside of that top plate, so the top plate cutting angle good. We've got that line forming just below. Okay, that one I've come up a bit. That one's made pretty much a proper square. You're just trying to form it. We don't need to go all the way. There's no point in wasting that first part of the chain. Just got to hollow out the inside of that corner and start forming everything properly, and then subsequent filings will knock it into a proper shape. That's all we're doing. The first few times you do this will take you forever. The first ever chain that I did this to. It was a 119 drive link 3/8 chain for a 36-inch bar. It was the first ever square chain I got. I had no idea what I was doing, and I swear it took me days to figure it out. Now, with a bit of practice, we can go through. So what we're doing here, since we're converting around to square, this is a bit more work. You see, it goes pretty quick once you get the feel for it. And from there, actually sharpening and maintaining it isn't that bad. I'm quite happy to do it with a stump vise, and I'll do it just about anywhere. This is a really awkward position that I've got this in at the minute, but it's not really slowing it down too much. This one's converted easier. Oh, okay, that'd be right. That chain, this tooth has had the entire bottom of it taken out from something else I was trying. Steel chain kind of suck to do this to at first as well. They're a lot harder. I haven't tried that hurricane stuff that you've been playing with, but if it feels anything like the steel chain to file, maybe try with something else. The Oregon stuff feels pretty soft. So's the Husky stuff, but it's a bit too expensive to waste on this. Try and get some photos that I can throw up at the end here to show you what it looks like. So all of these I am missing slightly low. It's about half the thickness of the top plate, I'd say I'm missing low. And honestly, it doesn't really matter. Missing high, if you run the corner into the top plate, it just will not cut. If you're missing low, doesn't really matter. Won't hold an edge as long, but it'll still get you through a tank of fuel. It does tend to cut faster with a little bit of a side peak on it. And if you miss really low, you've just created hexa. So, I mean, that's no loss at all, is it? It could be a lot worse than that. Wow, that one really grabs. Longest part of this is checking your work. A little bit more. Alright, and we're back to where we started. So that's half of the 66 drive link chain done. Doesn't take too long once you get the hang of it. And touching it up would take about half that usually. So, if there's anything else you want to know, I will do my best. I'm definitely not set up to film any of this, but if I can help you out, I will do my best. Hopefully it gets you started on this stuff. Alright, good luck. Have fun with it.